All right, folks, welcome to 90.9 The Quadratic for the rest of your answers to your Algebra 2 Fall Final Exam Review Guide. Guys, on 36 through 39, you need to solve the quadratics, whether you use the quadratic formula in 39 or you try to factor in 36 and in 37. 36 here, folks, what multiplies to 32 or 42 because 42 is negative differs by, that's a single x, 1x. And that would give you 6 and 7. The middle term is positive, so it's a positive 7 and a negative 6. X plus 7, x minus 6 gives you 0. That's how it factors. Cover-up method says x plus 7 equals 0. X would be negative 7, and then x minus 6 is 0. X would be a positive 6. Technically, you could use the quadratic formula. A is 1, B is 1, C is negative 42. Just going to have to break it down a little bit. 37, what multiplies to 40? Because it's negative, differs by 3. That's 8 and 5. The middle term is negative, so the bigger factor is negative. It's going to be x minus 8, x plus 5 equals 0. You get x equals 8, x equals negative 5 as your two solutions. Guys, on 38, move this 98 over. You get 2x squared is 98. Then divide both these by 2. You get x squared is 49. When you take the square root of 49, you get 7. But remember, if you square a negative 7, you also get 49. That's why our answer is plus or minus 7. Guys, in 39, you have to use the quadratic formula. A is 3, B is a negative 7, C is 1. This is the quadratic formula. I will give this to you on your final. So x equals the opposite of b, 7, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all over 2 times a. 7 on the outside, 6 is our denominator. This is going to be 49 minus 12, which is 37. Take the square root of 37. It's a decimal. 37 doesn't break down either, so that is your answer. Simplify the expression. You're just doing 7x squared minus 2x squared. Don't multiply. Just combine like terms. 5x squared. Then you have a negative 9 minus 5. Negative 9 minus 5 over here is a minus 14x. Then you have 6 minus a negative 4. 6 minus a negative 4 is a positive 10. 41, you're doing the same thing, only the 5x squared is all by itself, so 5x squared. You then have 9x minus a negative 5x. 9 minus a negative 5 is a positive 14x. You have negative 7 minus 6, negative 7. That should be a negative 7, not a positive 7. Negative 7 minus 6 is a negative 13. Guys, on 42, you ask yourself, what has more x's, the top or the bottom? The top has more x's. 5 minus a negative 4 is 9. It's not going to be 1. What has more y's, the top or the bottom? The top has more y's. It has 5 more y's. And then...
You're FaceTiming someone.
I'm making a video. You're in it. There's no editing. Yay. This is Shortcross says hi. She says study hard for your math final. Then ask yourself, what has more z's, the top or the bottom? The bottom has more z's. It has 10 more z's. 6 minus a negative 4 is 10. All right. No editing here at Yak Math Videos. We will have an unpaid intern maybe next semester. Negative 4 times 3 is a negative 12. Then you just add the exponents. X to the 3 plus 1 is 4. Y to the 4 plus 2, 6. Z to the 2 plus 5, 7. Last page, folks. Now, number 44, you just first outer inner last did x squared times 3x to the third is 3x to the fifth. X squared times 6 would be 6x squared. Negative 5 times 3x to the third is negative 15x to the third. Negative 5 times 6 is a negative 30. If you left your answer like this, that's fine. I'm just rearranging it highest power to lowest power. I did make 45 a little bit easier, so you're not going to have a cube here. We'll talk more about that in the second semester. But technically, you could write it 3 times. FOIL this first part. 2x times 2x, 4x squared. 2x times negative 3, negative 6x. Negative 3 times 2x, negative 6x. Negative 3 times negative 3, positive 9. Combine like terms. Negative 6x minus 6x is minus 12x, not 0. 4x squared times 2x is 8x to the third. 4x squared times negative 3 is minus 12x squared. Negative 12x times 2x is negative 24x squared. Negative 12x times a negative 3 is positive 36x. 9 times 2x is 18x. 9 times negative 3 is minus 27. Combine like terms. Again, that one would be a little bit easier. 46 here. use synthetic division. We always set what we're dividing by equal to 0. We're checking if 4 is the solution here. 2 is for 2x to the third. Negative 13 is for negative 13x squared. 26 is for 26x. Negative 24 is for that constant, negative 24. Always bring down that first term, 2, because you're really doing 2x to the third divided by a 1x. That's going to give you 2 as your coefficient. Then you multiply this number in the cubby times this. 4 times 2 is 8. Negative 13 plus, you always add the columns. Negative 13 plus 8 is negative 5. Then you do 4 times negative 5 is a negative 20. Add them together, you get 6. And you do 4 times 6, 24. Add them together, you get 0. That means it goes in cleanly if you have a remainder of 0. So I started with 2x to the third, and I divided by x. What has more x is the top or the bottom. The top has 2 more. It's always 1 power less. So this 2, you started with the x to the third, is going to be 2x to the second, 1 power less. Minus, always descends in power. What comes after x squared would be x, minus 5x. What comes after the x is the constant, which is a positive 6. Guys, on 47, you do have a remainder. Set x plus 2 equal to 0. You get x is negative 2. Negative 2 goes in the cubby. Bring the 3 down for 3x squared. Negative 7 right here, and then a positive 14. Bring the 3 down. You're going to do negative 2 times 3 is a negative 6. Add these up. Negative 7 plus negative 6 is a negative 13. Negative 2 times negative 13 is positive 26. Add them together. This time you do have a remainder. You started with x squared, so your answer is going to be in x, 1 power less. This is going to be 3x. That's your constant, minus 13. Plus, you write your remainder as your remainder is in the numerator over what you divided by. 40 over x plus 2. And lastly, folks, 48 through 50. Again, your final tomorrow is going to have 50 questions. We'll have one like this. Be careful on 48 here. Multiply, negative 3 plus 7 gives you 4. Multiply, you're going to have a minus 3. Negative 3 plus 5 gives you 2. Multiply plus negative 3 plus negative 2 is a negative 5. If you left it like this, you'd only miss like half a point. But technically, x to the negative 5 would be 1 over, and this is where I made a boo-boo, we caught it. It'd be 1 over x to the positive 5th. All right? When it crosses that denominator there, when it goes south, it has a positive exponent now. Guys, up top, please multiply 3 times 4. 4 times 3 gives you 12. Add the exponents, 14. 5 plus a negative 2 is 3 for y. 12 divided by 6 is 2. What has more x's, the top or the bottom? The top has 17 more. Do 14 minus a negative 3. What has more y's, the top or the bottom? The bottom has 7 more. 50, you want to square negative 3. That's a positive 9. A power to a power means you multiply the powers. 4 times 2 is x to the 8th. 3 times 2 is y to the 6th. 2 to the third is not 6, it's 8. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. X to the 5 times 3, 15. Y to the 2 times 3, 6. We don't have a power to a power anymore, so now we add the exponents. 8 plus 15 is 23. 6 plus 6 is 12. 9 times 8 is 72. All right. In these 3 videos, this is your final exam. This is 90.9 The Quadratic, signing out.